Good morning, everybody. It's great to be here. I love Cyber Week since its inception. And it's really great to be here with Yinon, a good friend. And, we shared a very long journey.
Yes, thank you very much for having me. Thank you all for attending Cyber Week. Very exciting to have it this year. And Michal, let's go right at it. You were always a visionary, a thought leader in cyber. And I think the first question is everything we are hearing here, and specifically, do you see Gen AI as a cybersecurity disaster?
So, first of all, I am an AI enthusiast and an optimist. I think the AI is going to make the world a much better place. Having said that, obviously, there are a lot of dangers, and there are a lot of security and cybersecurity challenges which needs to be handled. Some of it were discussed here before. I would like to focus on some others. So first of all, from technology point of view. As you know, every time there is a technology revolution, new cyber threats are introduced. It happens with the cloud revolution, it happens with the mobile, internet, etc. And the same thing with AI, but on steroids. So let's start with some of the risks in AI. So, first of all, the AI paradigm. There is the fundamental models, and there the next layer is the AI application and the agents, and the third layer is the usage, the users that are using it. And each layers, they are introducing new threats. If we are talking about the fundamental models, so model poisoning or model stealing, in the intermediate layer, which is the richest layer of the application, where you develop all the agents, etc., there are tons of threats, new threats that need to be addressed. For example, everybody talks about prompt injection, but there are intent breaking. There is also MCP servers that are malicious or not secure. And of course, in the usage layer, the most prevalent one is oversharing and data leakage. But that's not all. We are dealing with intelligence entities. In the same way that you can social engineer a human to do something that he shouldn't do, you can social engineer an AI agent, which is very intelligent, and lead it to do things that it wasn't meant to do. And the third aspect of threats is AI make all of us much more productive. However, it also makes the attackers much more productive. Okay? They can leverage AI to create very evasive malware. They can create attacks. Let's look at phishing, for example. Recent research show that if you're attacked by phishing mail that was generated by AI, you're 4.5 more times to press it than relative to phishing that was generated by old system. And not only that, if you talk about phishing, spear phishing. So spear phishing, which is very targeted attack, which is very effective. This is the most dangerous type of phishing. But in the past, it was very expensive for the attackers to create it, because it requires a lot of research on the side, manual work, etc. Now, with AI, the cost dropped to 0. So they can generate spear phishing attacks on a massive scale on steroids. So as you see, many threats.
Yeah.
And you can probably add to that as well.
Yeah, we are looking at the threat landscape, and I think we can cluster it into 2 buckets. The first bucket is really acceleration of how attackers operate, better phishing website, phishing emails, but also vulnerability research, much accelerated. Not only vulnerability research, weaponization of vulnerabilities. We're witnessing the time to weaponize a vulnerability from in the past weeks, months. Now it can be literally days and even hours. And this is like, requires us to be much, much faster. Threat actors are using it, like you said. We are seeing it across the board for anything they've done, from reconnaissance, vulnerability research, everything. The other aspect where they are utilizing it, actually by us utilizing AI, it opens up a whole new attack surface for them. As you've mentioned, the models, the prompts, the MCPs. I think one of the really interesting aspects we are seeing is that malware, now we call it living off the LLM. When you install a malware, you can expect to have an agent running on the machine, and you can ask it to perform tasks like search for all secrets on this machine, exfiltrate all of the interesting files. And there are actually now, when we think on IOCs, in the past we were thinking about hashes, IPs. Now it's like texts in English that say something malicious, or not necessarily in English, in any language that are malicious. So it's really interesting to see, and I think maybe moving to what customers can do, which guardrails or what guardrails do you think customers have to have in place?
Yeah, very good questions. So AI is ambient and autonomous. And cybersecurity systems that defend AI should be the same. So we are in Microsoft defending AI-based system and agents for several years. And we identify 4 main pillars, or best practice, if you will, to protect generative AI-based system. The first one is eliminate what we call the AI agent sprawl and access to resources. The second one is oversharing. Now, all of us tend to overshare, even if we're very careful, a lot of information with our favorite AI application. And if you do it if you're a corporate and do it, it can be a disaster. As a matter of fact, 80% of executives, this is their biggest fear, oversharing with AI system of their organization, and of course, data leaks. The third one is you must be protected against all the AI-specific attack vectors that all of us mentioned. Again, threat injection and intent breaking and malicious MCP servers and unprotected MCP servers and many of those that all of us talked about. So you have to be really very careful protecting those. The fourth pillar is regulations. Never forget that. Especially if you operate in different countries, there are different and many AI-based, AI-intended regulations in the different geographies. And if you are active in those geographies, you must comply with them. Another aspect is that companies that deal with AI have to have a holistic approach, okay? It has to start with the top level, with the executive, with the board, with the security leaders, with the developers, but also with the marketing and the sales, because everybody in your organization is using AI, whether you know it or not, and therefore you need an holistic approach. And if you do it all correctly, you're in a good place.
Visibility, approved path, and then a risk program to secure it. I think that the other aspect is really how we can utilize AI within our security program. And then again, we can look at 2 clusters of capabilities. The first one is automating the security team. So we think about automated SecOps investigations, automated remediation, automated security review for our code, for our architecture. So we can automate a lot so that everybody that is doing security is 10x, 100x more effective. And we're seeing these agents now pop into every security solution we build. This is going to be the future. It's empowering everyone, the human in the loop, to do more so we can run faster than the threat actors. The other thing that we have to have in mind is that if the threat actors are using AI against us, we can use it to secure ourselves. So AI-based defenses, scanning ourselves from the external attack surface using AI, pen testing, automating attacks, scanning our code to find vulnerabilities. Everything that the threat actors can utilize against us, we should use it as part of our defense program. But we, in this case, actually have an advantage because we have the better context. We can feed it with the better context to fix it faster. So AI actually gives us a huge advantage in accelerating security in ways that we simply couldn't have done before. So this is the other aspect, and I think that as we look at AI, this is, Michal, again, I think it's an all-industry ecosystem, and we heard it also in the other sessions. How do you think about the ecosystem in Israel, specifically all the startups, MNCs like Microsoft, others that are leading the industry towards this AI world?
Yes, because we are in Tel Aviv, Israel, it's really very appropriate to talk about the Israeli high-tech ecosystem, which I think is very, very unique. And not only because, you know, everybody's familiar with the IDF, all the tech units, and both myself and Yinon are product of that, but it's not only that. I think in Israel we have a very unique ecosystem, primarily because of the fact that we have so many startups, but also that we have multinationals. And the cross-pollination between the multinational, like, for example, I'm from Microsoft, and Yinon is from Wiz, and we work together in Microsoft, and we'll talk about it in a second, create a very unique opportunity. For example, I was in a startup. I led a startup with Naftali Bennett, the former prime minister that was here before. We were acquired by a corporate America company, and after the acquisition, Naftali decided to go to the politics, and I became the leader of that organization within corporate America. And my role was to grow the startup in that company. And I grew a lot. I learned a lot as an executive after a few years in corporate America. And when I left it, and I thought of opening again my own startup, then Microsoft came with the suggestion, open the cybersecurity business for Microsoft. I met Satya Nadella, who thought he was an amazing person, and I really want to work with this person, but he wanted me to relocate to Redmond. I said, no, in cybersecurity, actually to do it in Israel, it's an advantage. And being in Microsoft, as the leader of cybersecurity, then one of the things that I did is to look at interesting Israeli startups. And that's how I met Adalom, the guys from Adalom, Asaf and Yinon and Rui and others, and we decided to acquire them. And we had great time together when they were in Microsoft.
We started maybe 3 years in Adalom, but then 5 years at Microsoft building the cybersecurity, cloud security business. And I think that this cross-pollination, like you said, this combo of having startups, then again, enterprise-grade scale, but the ability to continue and collaborate, there is something really unique in cyber that it's never a zero-sum game. It's really about every customer that is being protected is a win for everybody. Every dollar you put in security actually enables cloud AI investments in many, many dollars after. And I think it's really why across the industry we see this ability to cross-pollinate, build from startup to enterprise, and then again to startups, enterprise, this ability to continue and build the industry together, working. There are so many opportunities today in the market, right, to collaborate and secure better on frameworks, tooling, integrations, know-hows, and really how do we continue to lead the industry forward across the industries in Israel. So really thank you, Michal, for the opportunity.
And it was really great to see how you guys, after you left Microsoft, became a unicorn after 1 year. And I think that also a lot of the things that you learn in Microsoft.
Yes, the scale, the enterprise view, and also what does it take to actually build solutions that work for the largest enterprises in the world. So, and one of the things we're seeing is that in the end, ideas are great, but the ability to implement and focusing on the processes, on how it's actually operationalized at scale, these are the things we learn when we see things at scale, and these are the things we focus on, the people in the end, and how their lives are improved by using tools that we produce, we build.
And I think this cybersecurity, and especially in the age of AI, it's a war in order to protect it. And it not only takes a village, it takes a coalition. That's why the cooperation and the sharing information that Yinon was talking about it is very, very important. And I want to end with one last sentence. Okay? So Israel is obviously a cyber superpower. Everybody knows about it. But Israel can be also an AI superpower. And the combination between AI and cyber makes Israel in a very unique position to lead that. So thank you.